But hi guys, welcome to today's live. Still talking about still talking about Betty, right?
Right now, I haven't bridged that she once it starts positivity. Don't forget, I think it's
She's
you on a regular basis to help me and help this channel grow.
I think she's going up her Kate's mom, which is an awful thing to do. She
A lot of questions at the beginning was she allowed to be around Sebastian? And everybody adamantly said he's not allowed monthly membership. Thank you, Stephanie, so very much.
thank you.
Peggy, thank you. Prayers for Sebastian and Seth. Our friend Robin, always making sure we have enough money in the cuss jar.
No, see, oh my god. You're a bottom nasty human BHB. That's it crazy. Come on, I could teach tomorrow, honey. I mean, she had. So let's get into this.
Pray the truth.
So, Betty has no right to do this to this poor innocent
Cuss jar.
woman. Okay.
Downgrade some of the charges. Maybe that might be a strategy for them. But I definitely don't see her not being guilty of anything because Libby has been with us for 6 solid months. So thank you very much. That was sent to me that made me kind of look up under the hood to find out, is there any, which you guys know, if it doesn't really have a lot to do with Sebastian, I'm not getting involved in it. But because there are now allegations that she did have contact with him, there's
one time
that she could be the green hoodie gal that was seen or observed on the outside of the Texas Roadhouse. People had overwhelming interest in whether Francis and RSO was around children. So I thought before we got started here.
Sorry. Good
Cuss jar? One day I won't need you.
My guys like me.
It's possible before we get.
She dug into her background. And then she made a threat to this person. This I find disgusting. Yeah, only a couple of days. Can you not be nice? Can you not shut your fuck up and be nice? So let's get into it. Sorry.
Started, I wanted to again thank you for all the channel sponsors.
Love me.
Libby has been with us for 6 solid months. There's references that she could be the green hoodie gal.
I was going to say this. Even like her history, she's not been like children alone. It's always like a person in the room, like a parent. So let me just start off by saying this.
Or observed on the outside of the Texas Roadhouse, people have had an overwhelming interest in whether Francis and RSO.
Why are you bringing this back up? Why are you bringing this back up? She has been killed.
We would go over some information about what an RSO is. Hold on, let me get it pulled up here real quick.
You did that. You did that, buddy.
What an RSO is, what their requirements are. Hey, Yada, it's good to see you. I know this is probably good. So it says sex offenders prohibiting proximity to children. was married. She was married in 2020.
Why are you digging at her? Why are you doing this, babe? Because she hates Sebastian's
Katie's mom
parents.
got married to
Katie's mom's not
May 3rd,
nice.
2020. And we're going to go through this because this is where things get a little sticky. They never filed a marriage certificate, and because Tennessee, Virginia is Commonwealth, they can have common law marriages, and no need to report that marriage to the state by way of marriage license, right? People can marry who they want to marry. If they've tied the knot, they tied the knot. So we have this situation where she was married on May 3rd, 2020 to this man here. He looks considerably younger than her. And he's also the owner, or his family is the owner of the house that she resides in. But did his family know that he was marrying an RSO? I'm unsure whether they know or not.
It's nobody's business.
That she has been, in fact, around other children. Let's look at this.
Okay. She doesn't have... Okay, if it's FaceTime, I don't know if that counts. Because there's no way in hell, if you do it over the line, that's hurting the kid. Second up, this is not her business. Her nurse needs to be backing her, because she's going to jail soon. She might finish those nutrients. I'm hoping that she's not going to jail because of her nasty bio. Let me ask you, Alice. Betty Boo and your girlfriend is on the DV list. I always forgot that.
Happy birthday, dear Jonathan. I'm not sure why it's not showing up.
She's singing out. Okay. It's
why it's not showing.
So, watching a driveway, remember, 2020 is the year of COVID, right?
Maybe I gotta do this.
And so,
Alright, so let's
you're
start this
singing outside of a car.
Birthday to you.
Not a climb. Not a climb. The boy is in the car with his mom. Not a climb.
So there you go. There's your first evidence that she has been in contact with children. Okay? And again, like I said, the person that posted this looks like a great human being, a very good individual that loves God, that worships, has an amazing voice, sings, and it makes me question whether anybody knew about
But go get some help.
History, or whether or
it's
not
not your business to put it out.
But it doesn't just stop there. It doesn't stop there. Let me show you guys something. We're going to go through a slideshow that I have prepared this morning.
God, she's so stupid. She's so fucking stupid. Oh, you can tell her face. See, this is not
So
working.
here we have, there's her RSO. Oops, as they're not supposed to be seen. Hold on a second. There we are.
Why do you have a picture of her fucking house?
So in Virginia, a class 6 felony is the least severe of the type of felonies, but still carries significant penalties of imprisonment for 1 to 5 years or jail time up to 12 months.
Not your business, Blue. Not your business.
So we do have that. Here is the marriage, the wedding for
Beth.
Frances Rosenbaum to her husband. And here are the attendees. Here are the attendees online to her wedding. And what you see here is 2 different families, and of course, Katie and Sebastian.
Just let me sit. She did put her in danger.
Now, mind you, I don't know why, but watching his grandmother get married.
Okay, online doesn't count.
Contact with Sebastian Rogers prior to his disappearance? And the answer is yes. And
5
some people may
years
say, well, we
ago.
knew that. You know, Katie went to
5
the
fucking
funeral
years
for
ago.
her grandfather. Wouldn't his daughter be there, her mother? And the answer is most likely that answer is yes. If you guys want to see it a little bit clearer, there you go. There Katie is with Sebastian in the background, watching the wedding.
Not inclined.
Now,
Why does it say Beth Chapman Mason?
With children.
Why
And
does
I'm pretty confident that Seth has already made himself be known that he does not.
Seth does not own Sebastian? Neither does Katie. Katie is his parent, remember? You back the fuck off, buddy. Back off. Because I'm not getting into this. See, you miseducate yourself. It's all online. 90% not in your car. So I don't know what the fuck are you doing right now messing with this shit.
Want a son around somebody with the types of crimes she has been.
Like I said, Seth does not own
and here's more
Sebastian.
evidence that she has been around children.
But not Sebastian.
Uncle Tim and Aunt Frances. Uncle Tim and Aunt Frances. And here they are with his grandmother. So we definitely know, and also at the same event, look at all of these children.
Why does it say different people's name?
But somewhere along the way, Miss Rosenbaum is starting to lose her hair, and we don't know if it's an illness, if something else is going on with her. But this is kind of where it starts leading us into this potential for the green hoodie guy.
You know,
right?
that's bullshit.
Because it was a green hoodie guy at first.
No, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. So stop making shit up.
The bathroom of the Texas Roadhouse. And I think this is why many people believe that person may be Katie's mom. We do not have any evidence to support that, and that will be a topic of conversation much, much later. But for the time being, was this lady in contact with Sebastian and or other kids? Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
It's not your business.
It makes me wonder, did her other family that she married into know this about her before they put children around her? And based upon the page where these derived from, the lady doesn't look like that kind of parent. She seems like she's a very loving parent that would protect her children. And we also noticed that after this 2020, 2021, and into 2022, that was it. We see no more photos of Katie's mom.
Oh my God, I can't
any
fit
more family photos. So it was like this 2-year period. They get married in 2020. By 2022, there's not really anything in this family where they're associating with one another. So I found that a little odd. The last time, and it looks like that they were in contact with each other since 2010. So I don't know how long she was dating her boyfriend, because that's now her husband, because we don't have that information.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying this. It's not your business.
But we clearly see that she was married on March 3rd, 2020. And so I start going over here, and, you know, again, this is public records on a public platform and available to the public. So I'm looking at this, and once again, and I wouldn't show this, I don't have the ability to, like, people are probably going to say, why didn't she blur this out? Because I'm on public records. I don't have the ability. I don't have the ability to blur out a Facebook. They have to blur their person out themselves.
No, yes, you can.
Or make the Facebook private would be a suggestion for everybody. But if we're going to go to the Facebook groups that are publicly available to everybody, you can clearly see not only is this RSO in a room with a child, is sitting next to that.
Hold up.
Is sitting.
Pause on the break. But just 1, 2, 3, 2, the boy, Kate's mom that you have no business talking to, just brought in 5 other people in the room. So if she attacks him, he might be safe. Believe me.
Next to that child.
And people like
so
you
the question is, did she have permission to be there? Here's a completely different one. Children are always available, are always at this house.
No, I don't even see a kid in that one.
I'm sorry, let me get off that. Hold on, I went too far. I didn't mean to do that. Let me take that off. That wasn't what I was trying to.
Are you that obsessed?
The last time
Are you that obsessed?
Around children was in 2021. 2021.
So
again, this is highly disturbing
for the types of
crimes that Frances has to deal with, and also seeing her around an obvious large amount of children between the
one time. I have seen one time.
To 2022.
Excuse me.
And that really does bother me. And I really don't care. I understand that people may be frustrated with, are upset with me for running this show. But this is children.
And?
Okay? And I don't care really
they
about
have
it.
Parents.
We're here for the kids.
Bullshit. Even for the
money,
honey.
At what point were these kids going to be protected? Because we
everything of pictures that you have shown has a gelatin, so there's no real threat. You want to sit there and be a bitch, maybe fine. Don't sit there and go after Katie. You got yourself into this mess. You need to get your fucking ass out of it. I don't give a damn if it's costing you money. I hope you don't go to Idaho for. You look like a whole ass clown. I mean, for real, babe. You didn't come back and bash none of the victims of this awful crime. Awful. You victimized him. You know, defaming him, insulting him, and then you had the audacity to make a video say, you know, I support the family because they don't go in. That's not. You call that family weak, I call that brave. That family that didn't go and speak up on this one. Maybe you didn't have time. Maybe you had other things to worry about, baby. Maybe you just gonna move on. But you don't have common sense like I do. I have common sense. I have the heart. It's not POS or coloring. It's called common goddamn sense. Something I've been saying for days.
For young children.
Here's called threat, right?
You know, as hurtful as that may be, when they're following the rules, following the law, and not
here's the
children,
thing. Here's the thing.
They wouldn't even be on this show.
Esau does not have merit. I don't care like you think to worldwide. Esau maybe that's Raptors. Yeah, that shows a bad side. Unless you're in the Gary Patillo.
I have not talked about her mother in any type of literal sense or about the allegations. I think we hinted on the allegations early on. I realized they had no bearing in the Sebastian Wayne
They still don't.
And out of respect for that side of the family that had nothing to do with it, I left that alone.
Yeah,
I left that alone.
How parole is not in your business.
A direct linkage with the grandmother, talking not only to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, but also being around a lot of other children.
My fucking business.
That we can produce photos for. And I've got these downloaded, so if law enforcement needs them, if Seth needs them, if anybody needs them, I have them downloaded. So if they decide to privatize this, I'm happy to blur. I can't blur stuff out on a Facebook page.
Yes, you can.
But I'm happy to blur out faces on the copies that I retain. For whatever. But again, this is highly, highly, highly disturbing for me. And again, this would not have been aired on my show.
This show is costless.
The connection to children. So if anybody out there is saying or passing around the misinformation and disinformation that her mother had no contact with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, that is factually false. If they say her mother had no contact with other children, that is factually false. Now, I'd have to believe that this Christian lady most likely found out some history. Maybe she knew it. I truly don't believe she did. I'm a Christian woman. I've seen a lot of Christian
women. You don't like that. You're not one. Let me go to you.
We love to lift them up off their feet.
But no! But he doesn't do that. But he hates them and drags them for filth. Someone needs to drag her ass out. If she's doing the same goddamn thing, your mom needs to rip your ass. I would. I'm gonna put you on 15.
When people do their time, they do their time. We want them to move past. But this is one of those charges that you can't risk your children. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you can't love the person. It's not that you can't forgive them. But the law is the law. And if they want redemption, they have to follow the law.
Like you?
Now, again,
you don't
I don't know this lady. I do know that she's tier 3. I know that is a very, very, that's the worst case scenario tier.
Yes.
And everything that we know, those type of tiered people are not supposed to be associating with any child. So,
not really money. Every fucking princess that she saw either have a parent, or the kiddos in the car, but she wasn't alone with the kid. Let me remind you of that. If it's up to the parents, Seth has part custody on Sebastian, but he's got to have custody.
Even following the law, we still believe in helping out where we can help out. But we are not going to risk our own offspring because we feel this person is not our child.
Sebastian's not yours.
There are some people out there that would risk their child's safety because they love a person and they know that this was all they got set up, right? They were just set up. I'm not saying with this case. I don't think we've ever heard that in this case, but just in general, we hear, the girlfriend doesn't mind the boyfriend coming over because he was set up. He would never do anything like this until it happens to their child.
She's talking about.
So I really don't know what to think about this, but I hope if there are things going on and she is around children, that's not good for me. That's not good for me.
You have adults around her too at the same time, so don't make it like.
I understand the need to want to get your life back after probably a situation like this, but the law says you can't.
And the law says you can't talk about Sebastian.
It's not about any funeral. But I'm going to let her go to a child's birthday party.
She got
You know?
permission from her
And
parole.
yeah, there were a lot of adults there. But again, what do you do? I'm not implying that it is her. I'm just simply saying that this is why people believe it is her. I did not imply one way or another that the green hoodie person is her at all. And if you go back to the better part of this video, I even say this is the we're covering about 3 or 4 cases right now. Give updates on those. Anything that you guys would like to talk about, you guys are more than welcome to call in and have a good.
I hate good right. Once she knows up to something, I can just tell. Cause common sense, shut, babe. I can do better than you can ever be. Why is Joey? Oh, she's off. Thank God. You gonna talk or you just gonna look?
So I have to go back yearly, every year, and with the checkup, get an audiology test on my hearing, and for of the perfect group home for Spencer that he didn't get in, but they did like him. See, I told you they liked him, but they have the shared rooms, and that's a problem. And but he can get his privacy here, but he has to sleep there. Spencer's good at going to bed and going to sleep, but he is a very early riser. He will be up by 6 a.m. and he plays his music, and I feel badly for anybody who is his roommate.
I don't like Julia.
Okay, sorry. God placed him, I know, the best possible place. Now, if he goes to this one and it's not working out, maybe they would move him to a different one, within their programs, or maybe when the new one opens up at the agency that I consider the top agency. Whoop, Spencer's yelling. Hold on.
Yeah, put that on the internet.
Hold on. I'll come right back. Wait. Oh, let me put my phone down, actually. Hold on. I'll be back. You okay? A victim of physical aggression. Do you see, I typed the TikTok name of the professional doctor whose son was abused? Oh, I thought you were this case involving the case with Sebastian Rogers, even if it's just bullying him, right? Because I named Melissa. I don't want to name them because why should I do that to somebody, right? If they've never really done anything other than be the daughter of Terry Bowersock Sr.
Yeah, just so it's calm in this case, Julia.
Yeah, we can't. We can't. Yeah, they are. All of the children are. Not children. All the adults are like Spencer. Have a profound autism diagnosis. So you understand about that, right? So that's why I said to her, I said, "Are you sure it's the daughter?" And then it turns out like maybe it can be confusing because said
So, as far as I know, Terry Bowersox's daughter, it does not work for CPS.
Thank God.
And it became clear that it's not her because since she's been married, and I have the marriage records, but my guess is at least 4 or 5 years or something like that.
How
She's
fucking
gone by her
creepy.
married last name, not
How
her maiden
fucking
name.
creepy is this?
So
What a creep.
so anyway, I know who they're talking about. I think she works, if she has a job, she goes under her married last name, Terry's daughter. Now, if I should find out that Terry's daughter did something, I would say what her name was. Did something, harmful or whatever. So then I just want to say one thing, and this is going to clear up a lot of stuff. I am going to reveal a name right now that I didn't before. But first I want to explain to you why I did not reveal this name before.
And
What
why
my
now?
thinking was on it.
You think it sucks?
Because I've been trying to protect those who have done nothing wrong. Right? Why should I bring up their names? But
like
now
Cousin Chris? Oh, you forgot about that, right?
Because
like Cousin Chris?
I was torn about it. So here's the situation. I told you Terry's oldest son self-identified himself. He called into JLR. He posted on Facebook. His name is Terry Bowersox Jr., right? And I told you that he has turned his life around, as far as I can tell. He doesn't live in Tennessee any longer, as far as I know.
What do you have to do this differently? They're not involved with it.
He's married. He has a child. Because I'm like, this is a woman with kids, right? I'm not going to say her name or say this. But now I'm going to tell you what her first name is and her last name is with the Bowersox. I'm not telling you what her new last name is. Her new name. I'm not saying that name. Because theoretically, that would be the last name of the children. And I'm not going to say that last name.
How fucked up is this?
Because it came to light to me through my research, my own research, that she has maintained contact with the Bowersox family.
And
not so, even though she got divorced from Daniel.
Mister, I'm going to wrap this up
and
here.
Has remarried.
This is fucking sick.
Even recently.
So,
there's.
Have a good day. And good night. I'll see you next time.